Your Pie Pizza for the Key of LaGrange Troup High Coaches Show. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with head coach Tanner Glisson. And we were talking about last week's, tonight we're going to talk about last week's, not game because we just didn't have one, dadgummit. But, and I know the fans are hungry for it, but we had a week off after a scrimmage game against Northside Columbus a couple of weeks ago. And we got a chance to kind of go and visit with the Long Cane Cougars and kind of do some observation down there, and you guys went down and helped them and did some things, and then went to watch them on Saturday. And we're going to get Coach Murdoch in here in just a little bit. He's getting them I'm sure a healthy pizza from Your Pie. You know, they got all that healthy ingredients, you know. Didn't you get a healthy pizza, Coach?
Well, yeah, I guess so. After being on the field for 3 hours a day, I'd eat about anything, but that pizza sure was good. And actually, I had a little piece of pizza and a panini.
A panini.
Uh-huh.
All right. What's a panini?
It was good. A sandwich.
A sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. Italian sandwich.
Yeah, Italian sandwich.
Yeah. What are you?
Close enough. Yep.
No, I don't. Yeah, I have to rely on my wife to feed me, and she does a good job at it, as you can see. So, Coach, one of the things that kind of start with, what do you do when it's kind of the everybody. I could say you're starting a week late, but really everybody else really started a week early. It seemed like kind of jumped the gun on you. But so, what do you do when you kind of keep the players in check? And I know that everybody else is starting to play at least locally, and I know they're chomping at the bit to get out there and hit somebody. But what do you do like last week when you had the week of
Well, last week we went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we went and scouted a little bit Thursday evening, scouted Friday, and tried to go back to doing some fundamentals, getting back to some things on special teams that I thought we really need to work on, and just get through that bye week and get ready to go here against Ridgeland this week, and had a good weather today. The rain stayed away, and it was cool, and so we were able to get a lot in.
And speaking of the weather, it looks like we see it outside, and what a great location we have here on the porch outside here at Your Pie. It's a great venue for not only just come out a night like tonight where the weather is just wonderful, but also to come out and kind of keep up with your local high school football teams and just hang around and talk to people and listen to the coaches and kind of gather about what's going on with the team. But, it looks like there might be a slight, maybe a 60% chance of rain tomorrow throughout the day. Then it tapers back off on Wednesday to 30%. And then it looks like Thursday and Friday going to be sunny, so it should be a good night for football on Friday night.
Yeah, we're excited about it, and typically I think this may be around about the last hot weekend, Labor Day weekend, and so I think the guys are chomping at the bit to get going. I think the other two schools in the county are off this week, and I think Harris County is maybe in Macon or something, so possibly be the only game in town or in the area, and so hoping for a good crowd Friday.
Well, speaking of that, Troup High opens up Friday night against Ridgeland, and I'm telling you, they have to travel a long way because last year you don't realize how far this game is until you're almost in Chattanooga, and you realize, wow, that was a 2 hour and 45-minute trip, depending on how you go in traffic-wise. It might be a 3-hour trip. So good for them that they've got to make that trip down. And but you're right, we should be the only game in town Friday night. So if you want to come out and have a fun night out on Friday night, come to Your Pie Pizza before you go to the game. Slip over to the game and watch your Tigers take on Ridgeland Friday night.
It should be good. And when we originally set up this game, we were hoping to get a neutral site, a venue that we could play in. And it didn't work out, so Ridgeland went ahead and took that Corky Kell kickoff game with Calhoun.
Okay.
And so they played it a week early. And so we'll shoot for that maybe next time when they do the reclassification and we have to go back to doing a new non-region schedule. But, unfortunately for them, they have to travel 3 hours or 2.5. And we made that trip last year to a good football team. They made it to the second round last year, going 8-4. Losing to Cartersville in the playoffs. So they'll be here. They'll be ready. We've already scouted them pretty well in their game versus Calhoun, and so we'll see. We'll see what takes place.
And they have a new first-year head coach. He's actually been on the staff for a while, but this is the first year that he's taken the helm up at Ridgeland. And the battle of first-year head coaches, you said, in the Corky Kell Classic, I believe they played at Rome Stadium there. My daughter's taking a job up at Rome, and I was wanting to go up there, but I chose to go down to Opelika and watch Callaway and Opelika play. But that was a long night at the Corky Hill Classic there in Rome. But Calhoun had a first-year head coach, and wound up of the battle of the first-year head coaches. Calhoun kind of put it on Ridgeland, and interesting to see. Hey, with that, we're going to come back just after this break, but you're listening to Troup High Coaches Show here live at Your Pie Pizza, Key of LaGrange Coaches Show. We'll be right back on Eagle Sports.
That's why Houston physicians are on the sidelines providing immediate care to athletes after an injury. Houston physicians have been on the sidelines of football games since Dr. Houston started the tradition 60 years ago with the Auburn Tigers. The Houston Sports Medicine team provides high school pre-participation physicals, sideline coverage, and Saturday morning injury clinics at the Jack Houston Memorial Hospital during football season. An injury can be a game changer, and immediate evaluation care can be a game changer too. Contact the LaGrange Houston Clinic at 706-884-3274.
A Southern tradition since 1945, that's Rogers Barbecue and Catfish House. You can find them at 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange. So when you're ready for lunch, Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., come to Rogers Barbecue and Catfish House for meat, 2 vegetables, and a bread, dessert, and drink for only $7.29. That's a big lunch for a small price. So when you're ready for a delicious barbecue and only U.S. farm-raised catfish, make your way to 117 New Franklin Road in LaGrange for Rogers Barbecue and Catfish House for a great meal.
Yeah, it's bent. So what do you do now? Well, you call the Rexperts, Precision Auto Body in LaGrange. They are a collision repair facility, which means they are ICAR and ASE certified facility, and they're certified repair facility for most insurance companies, which this means to you, no matter if you drive a cool little car or a big old SUV, Precision Auto Body will fix it, handle all the insurance paperwork, and get you back out on the road. So call Precision Auto Body today at 706-884-9292.
There's a storm coming. We may not know its path, but your independent auto owner's insurance agent knows no matter what happens, we'll be there when you need us most. Strong through every storm. That's how it's been for our first 100 years, and how it will be for generations to come.
Mallory Agency at MalloryAgency.com. For all your insurance needs, it's the Mallory Agency.
Now back to the Key of LaGrange Coaches Show, live at Your Pie LaGrange.
Come on out and get your pizza here at Your Pie Pizza and join us here, Talk Radio. We're talking about Troup High Tigers and the Long Cane Cougars.
Yeah, baby.
As we've, we talk about all the changes going on in around Troup County, but particularly, last week you and I talked, Coach, about the staff. I mean, we lost 24 seniors on the football team. Hey, we almost lost. I think we lost about 7 to 8 coaches. Same thing could have been said about Long Cane. They pushed a lot of kids up to the 9th grade and had some coaching turnover. And one of them that we're proud to get is Coach Murdoch here leading the Cougars.
Absolutely, and we're tickled to death about that. Coach Pike and Coach Murdoch was on his staff down there. Coach Pike did a tremendous job while he was there. And but this year with us losing 7 coaches and a lot of seniors and having some change in leadership down at Long Cane, it's just a situation that we could kind of hit the reset button. With my wife being down there as the principal too, Coach Meadows and her were allowed me to sit in on the interview process for a new head coach. Okay. And so I really feel really good about where we are and making this one unified program all the way from the 7th grade to the 12th grade. And so we did a couple of interviews and found out that Coach Murdoch was our guy. And I've been tickled to death of what he's got some of his staff members here tonight, and they just do a fantastic job. Number one, loving our kids, and number two, trying to prepare them to get them ready for Troup football. And saw them play this Saturday. They did wonderful. They played in what you call a jamboree deal where there's several teams, and they come back and forth, and they play one quarter against this team, one quarter against that team. They went the whole day and did not give up a point. and that was really, really good. But you can tell how hard they play and this and that. So, with that, go ahead and quiz old Coach Murdoch up. Let's put him on the hot seat.
So Saturday, how did you feel about the game situation down at Valley Ram Stadium? I know you guys went down to the Valley area and played, and so tell me how you played at Callaway first. You played against Callaway first.
Oh yeah, yes sir. We played against Callaway first, and that was our seventh grade. Seventh grade versus their seventh grade, and honestly, I think they did a tremendous job.
Okay.
First of all, just not allowing any points, but just explosiveness from the offense. And I think the actual opportunity to run different plays and have the same offense that Troup is running, and just tie it together. And from the seventh grade to the eighth grade to the high school, it's a real great standpoint from a whole program. And not to mention, as our eighth grade went down there also playing Callaway, scored the very first play. And, I mean, once again, at our add-on, like not giving up any points is a major thing for our team right now.
Well, and to cut in right there, I think one of the eye-opening things that I saw when I first went down was how hard the seventh grade is being coached. I don't want to say they've been an afterthought some years, but I think there's some years where the emphasis went on the eighth grade, and some of those seventh graders may have fell through the cracks a little bit, but it is very, very obvious that their staff is going to focus on every child that's in the program. Right. And I saw that, Coach, and I want to commend y'all on that because that was wonderful.
Yeah, kudos. I tell you, you're right. As if you tend to, you want to start kind of focusing on what I would call your number ones, and you might think that might be your eighth graders.
Oh, yeah.
But you might have a star in the making that maybe is a little bit more mature than a lot of other seventh graders, and you can pick that diamond in the rough out there, and not only that one or two kids, but maybe all of the seventh graders.
Well, think about this: when those eighth graders are seniors, those seventh graders are juniors.
That's true.
So if you look at it like that, I mean, they're going to be contributing at our level together.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, my gosh. And honestly, I'm glad you said that because having Coach Shealy right now as our offense coordinator for the seventh grade and Coach Cross as our defense coordinator for the seventh grade, man, them two young rockets never always coming explosive. And every one-door moment, I mean, you can't buy that.
And my wife said they're tremendous teachers.
Oh, my gosh. I believe that. That's amazing to hear right there.
That's awesome.
But I mean, just the way they carry themselves, they're definitely great men. But, I mean, like, we got a full lineup. I mean, all of our coaches are definitely pretty upstanding.
Why don't you go ahead and name those guys?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. On our starting, our defense coordinator, you got Maurice Swain, and our assistant head coach. Our offense coordinator for the eighth grade, which is Brandon Todd. Our offensive line coach, which is Mark Kavanagh, who's over in the building tonight, baby.
Three guys that went three guys that went to Troup. And played at Troup, with those three you just named.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's crazy because they are hometown relatives, and everyone loves that. I mean, it's love that they went to Lone Cane, some of them, and they could just give back to their old program. But then we go along. We got Coach Cross coaching the DBs, and we got Coach Brandon Todd also being the head the offense coordinator, but the wide receivers coach. And then myself, I'm the linebackers coach because, hey, I'm really a defensive guy, and I know and I understand that's what wins championships. But to hop it off, we got Coach Harlan, who also coaches offensive linemen for the seventh grade team.
Okay.
Definitely, we got a pretty round crew right there, and everybody contributes.
It made me feel so good down there today. He talked about Coach Shealy. He's already hit him up.
Yeah, come on now. My seventh grade offense coordinator.
He tried not to give him too much at one time,
Thank you.
But, man, I cannot tell y'all how great it was to come down there and me stand close to the huddle and hear the same terminology.
Oh, yeah.
Know that so we're all speaking the same language, offensively, defensively, and man, that just makes our job at the varsity level so much easier when those guys come up there and they already know the terminology.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I also think that's important. I mean, just not to mention that the past 3 years, like going to the championship and winning two of them. So right now, that's two Lone Cane Middle School championship teams at Troup High. Playing for them.
So on that note, check this out. The class that just graduated from its seniors, Keem Makuta's class, won 0 games as a seventh grader at Lone Cane Middle and 0 games as an eighth grader. And went to the semifinals.
Yeah.
And didn't win but one as a ninth grader.
Yeah, that's right. but this,
I'm just saying.
But this senior class here has known nothing but winning.
That's right.
From the seventh grade to the eighth grade, all the way up, and you're talking about tradition, and you're talking about believing that you are supposed to win.
Yeah,
that's how you do it.
That's huge. That's huge. Tell you what. Speaking of huge, we're live here at Your Pie Pizza for the Key of LaGrange Coaches Show. I'm your host Greg Hicks, along with head coach Tanner Glisson and head coach Murdoch from Lone Cane. We'll be right back on the Eagle Sports.
Hi friends, TOWD here with Kia LaGrange. This month we are featuring the workhorse, jack of all trades, the midsize SUV, the 2019 Kia Sorento. We're talking about safety, comfort, technology, and third row seating. Right now you can ride away in brand new 2019 Kia Sorento L model, only $22,990. Yep, $22,990. You can also check us out online at KiaLaGrange.com. Help support your local economy. God bless America.
Cell number 111598. Price plus tax, tag, and title. Offer good through August 31st, 2019. See Kia LaGrange for complete details.
Don't you buy no ugly shirt now. Mm-hmm.
That's right. To get a good-looking shirt just got a lot easier at Mud Creek Graphics because the creek has risen to downtown LaGrange across from Ideal Cleaners. Mud Creek Graphics' new location is perfect for you to come in and pick out your good-looking shirt and have whatever you want printed on it. So go with the flow and come visit us at Mud Creek Graphics, 211 Greenville Street in LaGrange, right behind CVS. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Mud Creek Graphics. Getting you back into the game is Emory Southern Orthopedics' goal. The full-service orthopedic medical practice features board-certified surgeons, a prompt care center, surgical facility, and physical therapy services. The collaborative medical team at Emory Southern Orthopedics combines with leading-edge orthopedic treatment with proven traditional methods to aid you in achieving an active, pain-free lifestyle. Emory Southern Orthopedics, getting you back into your game.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owners insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
Kia of LaGrange Coaches Show, live at your pile LaGrange.
I don't know that they've sold out of pizzas yet. Oh, they're not going to. They ordered extra dough today because they anticipated a large crowd. And what a crowd we have here on the outside porch area tonight. The weather is just fabulous. He had I came by earlier today and he had all the covers let down because it was kind of raining. He didn't want the rain to blow in, but what a gorgeous night it is.
It feels so good out here, too, with that breeze coming in. And Coach Cross is over there getting his belly full, and we're just good to go. And,
we certainly appreciate Kia of LaGrange helping sponsor this show, and each and every week, all four, LaGrange College, Callaway, Troup, and LaGrange. It's nice to have Kia come up and be the big sponsor, along with Your Pie Pizza. It's been such a tremendous blessing. And speaking of Kia, there's I don't know if you guys, when you walked up, if you noticed, what is that car doing on the sidewalk? Coleman parked it, and he wouldn't even let me drive it. But I did get inside and blow the horn. Jack, are you live inside the car?
I sure am. I'm inside the Cadenza, and it is gorgeous in here, Greg.
Well, you know what? I've seen your cars. You need to go buy a Cadenza. I'm sorry, was that good or bad? Hello?
It's got so much room in it, Greg. I think Coleman's going to try to work out a deal so any away games we go to this year, we're just going to load it up in the Cadenza and take off.
Sweet. All right, well, so we can expect it not to go back to the Kia lot today, but we're going to take it over to Eagle Station. Is that what it is?
I think that'd work awesome.
I'm all for it. So
hey, the good thing is we only have 3 road games, so, surely Coleman can make that happen,
Yeah, we'll put Coach in the back seat, and we'll just roll with his chauffeurs.
That's right. That's the way Bobby Bowden used to do it.
Just put him in the back seat. Let him roll.
That's right.
Well, appreciate that, Jack, live from the Cadenza cockpit. Jack Mormon's helping us out there. Getting back to the Troup football and Long Cane football, we appreciate Coach Murdoch joining us. And I understand that you have your first game this week live at Callaway Stadium this Thursday at 5:30.
Yes, sir.
Who's your opponent?
Smith Station.
Smith Station.
Oh, yeah, from Alabama. And it's actually a competitive side. Recently, we just found out that they played South Girard and won 14-0 in their jamboree on Saturday.
Oh, wow. I got
you. So, with the same amount of time.
It's South Girard. That's Central Phoenix City.
They feed Central Phoenix City. That's right.
Oh, yeah. And they got a pretty good ball club over there. So, right now, we're just looking forward to seeing what they got.
I got you.
Yes, sir. Not to mention that they scored the same amount of points as us as we did in our jamboree.
Right.
And also didn't allow any points. So it's going to be a pretty good competition.
Yeah, so
Yes,
first game of the season, full game.
Full game.
And so it'll be interesting to see you guys come on out this Thursday, 5:30, live at Callaway Stadium. Long Cane Cougars against the Smith Station Panthers, I believe it is. Yeah, we've had a few wrestling contests. That's a tough bunch down there from Smith Station as well. So it's good that you guys can have them here and take care of that situation. But we're talking about, let's go on into the Friday matchup. You know, you got football Thursday and you got football Friday. As we said earlier, the only game in town Friday night is your Troup High Tigers against the and I forget the mascot of Ridgeland, but Ridgeland's coming down from almost in Chattanooga, so they've got a long road trip.
Ridgeland Panthers.
Yep. And so we're going to be playing Panthers all over the place, huh? Coach, talk a little bit about what you saw at Ridgeland in the the Calhoun contest this past Thursday night up at Rome.
Well, you know, this will be our second go around with Ridgeland. We went to their place last year, and right after they had lost to Calhoun last year in the Corky Kell. And we went up there and we won, I think, 31-0. Mm-hmm. But it was a hard-fought 31. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds kind of weird, but you know, it was like 14-0 at the half or something like that. Yep. And we just kind of wore them down in the second half. And so their game this year with Calhoun was a little bit different. Last year, I think it was maybe they were leading at halftime against Calhoun, but it was real close. Mm-hmm. You know, this year I think it was 14-0 Calhoun. But you have to also understand Calhoun is a tremendous program. Ridgeland, I think, just depth-wise, had a hard time handling Calhoun in the heat. Right. I mean, It was 95 degrees. But they have 3 preseason All-State players. The Blackwell, Jordan Blackwell, number 3 running back, is AJC, preseason All-State running back. Terrence Roberts, number 6 linebacker, is the same. And I guess it is maybe some of his kin folks that Torrance Roberts, number 16, wide receiver, is really, really good. But the third guy in that preseason All-State's the kicker, and he's a tremendous kicker. I mean, he's putting it in the end zone almost every kick. Field goals, you know, within 50 yards, you know, 45, 50-yard range. His punts are exceptional. And Coach Klein is going to do a good job. This is his first go-around as a head coach, but he's been there for like 25 years. Kids love him. They're going to play hard for him. We expect him to come ready to play, and we're excited. We're excited. We're ready to go play. You know, we've been hitting each other. We got to hit Northside a little bit, and even that, our starters were out there so fast. So we're excited. We're excited. We're ready to go play. The guys were chomping at the bit today, and that was good. You want to be able to have to hold them back a little bit. And they like being the only show in town Friday. They like that. They like the crowd. They love the atmosphere. They like trying to put on a show. And so hopefully we can stay within ourselves and do the little things we got to win.
Play football. Yeah. Well, you know, speaking of Friday night, we're opening up against Ridgeland. But, you know, the next 2 weeks we're going to be on a Thursday night game. Yep. It's been kind of unusual for this past few years. Yep. But we're going to be at September the 5th down at Connett Stadium in Columbus. I'm assuming it's Connett.
It is Connett. Same place we were for the scrimmage.
Yep. And then we're going to come back the next Thursday night and play Harris County here on a Thursday. And then on after that, it's all Friday nights.
Yep. So, 3 games in 18 days right there.
Right. Yep. So, well, there's a good thing about Thursday night from the fan base. It kind of starts your weekend early. But from a coach's standpoint, it just adds a little extra challenge to get them ready.
And both Columbus and, not looking ahead, but both Columbus and Harris County won Friday. Columbus beat Spencer. That's in Callaway's region. Yep. And Harris County beat Carver Columbus, which is a huge win for them.
That's right.
And so, you know, both of those teams are undefeated at the moment.
Well, that says a lot when you talk about scheduling your opponents. You know, a couple 3 years ago, we said, man, we need some, especially after that first season, we need some wins, and we got some good quality wins. But then you went back and you scheduled Ridgeland and you scheduled Columbus, and of course Callaway's always on that. Seems like it's almost like a demand now locally that you gotta have that out of region. You got to have the Callaway contest, and of course LaGrange is also going to open up with Callaway. So it's kind of it's what the fans wanted to see in Troup County. Is it
pays a lot of bills. Pays a lot of bills.
A lot. That's right. Good fan base, and it's a good way to get the community involved early in the season for all 3 teams for sure. But as far as Friday night goes, what can we expect? Anything different? You just going in out and coming out in your regular game? Is there anything that we haven't seen that you're going to hit us with?
You know, a lot of people were listening to this radio show.
Yeah, but
right?
not up in Richmond. You think?
You'll be surprised. Yeah. I've gotten called out on the Cartersville website many times.
Be like a Muhammad Ali. Just go on and tell them what you're going to do.
No, I think number one, I think they have a slight advantage. Mm-hmm. The simple fact that they were able to play a true game.
That's true.
And usually, in my opinion, Coach, you may tell me about this with Long Cane, but you usually make your best adjustments and get better between the first and second game.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how I win. Win or lose. So usually that's a big improvement. And so we're kind of still, as well as we played against Northside, we didn't play special teams live all that much.
Yeah.
No. And so that worries the heck out of you. Mm-hmm. You know, you're going in here, and they've already had their little run with special teams and cleaning stuff up. So it's going to be a hard-fought contest. What we know about those guys is they play extremely hard. Mm-hmm. You know, they lost to Calhoun last year. They lost to us last year. Then they beat Sandy Creek. Mm-hmm. Then they ended up in the region, lost the region championship to Pickens. Mm-hmm. But then they beat Flowery Branch in the first round and then lost to Cartersville in the second round. Yeah. So they're going to come out. They're going to fight. They're going to be ready to go. But like I said, our guys are excited. You know, hopefully we stay away from the injury bug. We put a couple more good days together this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, and get ready to turn them loose Friday.
Okay. As far as Schweitzer, I noticed in the spring game you had him at quarterback, and then you had Hudson out there kind of outside.
He's picking me, Coach.
Oh, yeah, man.
Well, I'm just making sure we're good.
I can tell you this.
That everybody's looking good.
There's a good chance that Kobe Hudson lines up in a number of different positions Friday.
Okay.
So if that's what you're getting at.
I'm just kind of leaving. I have no clue. I'm just asking questions.
There's a really good chance.
I mean, I got, money laying on this. No, I'm just messing with you. No, I have no idea. Well, that's good to see.
There's a really good chance that Kobe Hudson lines up in different places. Offensively and in the return game.
Well, that's good. Anxious to see how the Tigers respond to a full game setting, as you said.
I'm interested to see our conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. Yes. You know how it is. You can only do so much at practice to get you in game shape. The hardest thing from me playing quarterback back in the day was those big guys laying on me.
I can imagine.
And you didn't get hit as much as in practice. So in the game, those big guys are laying on you and having to get in some kind of game shape about getting off the pile and running another play.
Well, have plenty of pickle juice. Is that what they say? I don't know. I'm sure you got other things, but me, I'm drinking some pickle juice because one of the things that we're going to probably see is some cramps occasionally, and no matter how good a shape you think you're in, it seems like they're late in the game. It depends on the humidity.
Well, and I know we're getting close to closing here, but I think one of the things that science has found out now, some research has found out that some things that go into those cramps are emotions.
Yeah.
Really high emotions. Our job, we want to keep it just like a practice. Let's go out and execute, not get too high, too low, because once you have the conditioning, the heat, the humidity, and then those high emotions, that's where you end up with a lot of cramps.
I got you. Well, hopefully we will have none of that this Friday night. You guys come on out, 7:30, Friday night, Troup versus Ridgeland, Callaway Stadium, 7:30. We appreciate Key of LaGrange being our sponsor live here at Your Pie Pizza. I'm your host, Greg Hicks, along with head coach Tanner Glisson, Coach Murdoch from Long Cane Middle School. We will see you guys next